There are moments in life that break you, moments when you realize you've been caught in a web of manipulation, deceit, and betrayal. But what happens when those moments happen in front of millions of people on national television? You watch it all unfold in real time, and you can't help but wonder, how much longer can this go on? In the world of Sister Wives, the drama doesn't just stay on the surface, it goes deep, very deep. Janelle Brown's life has been anything but easy. She's been caught in the crossfire of a marriage that's falling apart, trapped between a controlling, paranoid husband and the woman who seems to be pulling all the strings, Robin, a woman who has slowly manipulated the family dynamics in such a way that Kody, Janelle's husband, is no longer the man she married. What happens when your partner chooses someone else? Someone who seems to know exactly how to control him. What do you do when the man you thought you could rely on starts becoming a stranger, someone unrecognizable? Janelle is in the middle of this storm. She's watching everything crumble around her, and yet she's expected to stay silent, to be the supportive wife as her life slowly unravels. But we can only stay silent for so long. At some point, you have to fight back. Hi, friends, I'm Aliva, and welcome to TLC's Sister Wife Secrets. Today, we're diving into Janelle's painful journey as she realizes that she can't keep going down this toxic path. Her story is one of betrayal, isolation, and ultimately self-liberation. But before we get into all that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the latest drama. And I want to know, do you guys feel Janelle's pain in this mess? Leave your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear from you. Janelle's emotional state is heart-wrenching to witness. As we watch the episodes unfold, it becomes clear that she's stuck in a mental tug-of-war between wanting to hold on to her family and realizing that everything she's ever known is slipping through her fingers. Imagine being in a marriage where the love you once shared seems to fade with every passing day. But it's not just any ordinary breakup. It's being part of a family that's slowly being torn apart. A family where every relationship you thought was rock solid begins to feel fragile. Janelle isn't just a wife. She's also a mother, a partner, and a person who has invested so much emotionally into her marriage to Kody. But as Kody's behavior grows more distant, Janelle feels like she's losing him in the most painful way possible. At first, it's small things, subtle changes in Kody's tone, his refusal to communicate, the way he seems distracted when she's speaking. But as time passes, these small changes compound. Janelle becomes increasingly isolated, not only from Kody, but from her own family as well. Kody, once so attentive and loving, is now emotionally distant, often acting like he's living in a world entirely separate from the one Janelle is stuck in. And behind all of it, Robin. Enter Robin, the woman who has managed to worm her way into the center of this family, turning the balance of power upside down. At first, Robin might have seemed like just another wife, but slowly, subtly, she became something much more sinister, the manipulator. It's hard to ignore the way she slowly, almost imperceptibly began to take control of Kody. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash. You can see it happening, but there's nothing you can do to stop it. Robin's influence over Kody becomes undeniable as she plays on his insecurities, his weaknesses, and his fears. She understands exactly how to exploit his emotional fragility, turning him away from his wives and children in the process. Over time, Robin doesn't just become Kody's partner, she becomes the center of his emotional universe. Every decision he makes seems to be filtered through her needs, her emotions, her perspective. Meanwhile, Janelle watches helplessly as Kody prioritizes Robin over everyone else, even his own children. He's no longer the strong, grounded patriarch he once was. Instead, he's a shadow of his former self, consumed by paranoia, doubt, and emotional confusion. This change in Kody takes an incredible toll on Janelle. She's not just losing the man she once loved, but also the father she thought their children had. Kody's emotional distance and increasing focus on Robin leave Janelle feeling invisible. Every conversation with him feels more like a confrontation. Every moment she spends with him seems like a reminder of the growing rift between them. She's left to carry the emotional weight of a family falling apart without the support she so desperately needs. Janelle's emotional toll is impossible to ignore. Her once vibrant self seems to dim as she battles feelings of abandonment, confusion, and heartache. The woman who was once so strong and self assured is now struggling to hold it all together. But at what cost? And as Kody's transformation continues, so does the unraveling of their family, with Janelle caught in the eye of the storm. It's not just a marriage that's falling apart, it's a family. And in Janelle's eyes, she's slowly watching everything she's worked for slowly crumble to dust. Janelle's realization is like a punch to the gut. Over time, it becomes clear that her marriage to Kody isn't what it once was. The man she thought she knew, the man she trusted, is slipping away. And it's all because of Robin's insidious influence. Janelle begins to see the cracks in their relationship. Small at first, but undeniable. It's not just the distance that Kody puts between them, but his growing emotional reliance on Robin. He's not just pulling away from Janelle. He's becoming someone else entirely. Someone who no longer values the family they built together. Janelle knows this isn't the man she fell in love with. The realization is painful, and it's not something she can just ignore any longer. As if the unraveling marriage wasn't hard enough, Janelle starts to experience a deep sense of isolation. Her connection to Kody has been severed, but it goes beyond that. The other wives, her supposed sisters, don't seem to be there for her either. They're caught up in their own struggles, and it feels like Janelle is left to face everything on her own. It's like everyone's drifting away, and she's powerless to stop it. The frustration grows as she watches Kody's increasing dependence on Robin. It's clear that she is now his priority, and Janelle is left to fend for herself. And then betrayal hits hard. Those moments where Kody makes decisions that hurt Janelle are impossible to ignore. Whether it's choosing Robin over her time and time again, or dismissing her feelings in favor of Robin's, each one is a blow to Janelle's heart. The pain is real, and it's becoming impossible to deny. I want to know, what moments in the show did you guys find the most heartbreaking or shocking? Let me know in the comments. Janelle's journey to self-realization is nothing short of empowering. After months, maybe even years, of emotional turmoil and manipulation, she begins to reach a place of clarity. It's like a fog lifting. She starts reflecting on everything she's endured, the endless emotional manipulation, the subtle ways she's been controlled, and how her worth was slowly whittled down by Kody's choices and Robin's influence. It's not just the betrayal she's feeling now. It's the realization that she's let herself be treated in a way she never should have been. Her mental health has taken a massive toll. It's like watching someone trapped in quicksand. The more they struggle, the deeper they sink. And for Janelle, struggling against Kody's growing emotional distance and Robin's controlling presence has only made things worse. But then, something shifts. It's like she's had enough. The turning point comes when Janelle decides she no longer wants to be a victim of this toxic cycle. She finally recognizes that she deserves more than a relationship based on manipulation and control. The decision to take her life back is a huge one. It's scary, but there's a strength in her eyes that tells you she's done. Done with the manipulation, done with the isolation, and done with the constant betrayal. She stands up, not just to Kody, but to Robin too. It's a pivotal moment of reclaiming herself. What's truly empowering is watching Janelle take control of her own happiness. The truth is, she doesn't need to remain in a toxic environment to find her worth. This is where the message hits hard. Empowerment starts when you realize you have the right to be happy. And for Janelle, that's the most freeing moment. It's a reminder to all of us. Recognizing toxicity in our lives is the first step to stepping out of it. Never settle for a life that drains you. You can always reclaim your happiness. Kody's decline is almost tragic to watch. We've seen him throughout the years as a man of conviction, someone who prided himself on family, loyalty, and love. But as Robin's influence over him grew, so did his emotional instability. Slowly but surely, Kody's once strong personality started to unravel. What was once a confident and determined patriarch became a man consumed by paranoia and emotional turbulence. It was as if he had lost all sense of self. His decisions, once firm and grounded in a strong set of values, now seemed erratic, driven by a need to please Robin and keep her happy at any cost. He'd go through mood swings. One minute, he's distant and emotionally unavailable, and the next, he's angry, pointing fingers and accusing everyone of not understanding him. Kody, at this point, is a shell of the man he once was. Gone are the days when family came first, when loyalty was the backbone of his relationships, and love was what kept them all together. The Kody we see in later episodes is increasingly isolated, obsessed with Robin's approval, and blinded by her manipulation. It's heartbreaking because, at one point, he was someone who tried so hard to maintain family bonds. But now, as his personality fractures, those same values seem like distant memories. This transformation doesn't just impact Kody, it ripples through his entire family. The kids start noticing the changes too. Some begin pulling away from him, sensing the shift in his priorities. They can't understand why their father, who once seemed so present in their lives, is now consumed by a woman who is slowly taking him from them. The emotional toll this takes on his children is significant. They start questioning the man they once admired, and that's when the cracks in Kody's relationship with his kids deepen. It's a sad irony. The more he seeks Robin's validation, the more he loses the connection with the very people who once looked up to him. And what about the other wives? Janelle, Christine, and Mary can see the decline too. It affects them deeply, watching the man they've loved and been committed to for years turn into someone they no longer recognize. It's as though he's completely lost touch with what made their family work. His transformation from a man of confidence and integrity into a broken, paranoid shell of himself is unsettling. And you can't help but wonder, where is the man they once knew? So here's the question. What do you think of Kody's character arc? Has he become a lost cause? Or do you think there's still hope for him to redeem himself? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to hear what you all think. Robin's influence over Kody is nothing short of toxic. At the heart of Kody's emotional breakdown, we see Robin as the catalyst, the one pulling all the strings. She's not just another wife, she's the puppet master. From the very beginning, Robin understood how to manipulate Kody, making him believe that she was the only one who truly understood him. Slowly, she created a wedge between him and his other wives, sowing seeds of doubt and controlling how Kody saw his relationships. She turned him into a man who was so consumed by her approval that he began to push away the very people who once mattered the most to him: his children, his wives, his entire family. Robin knows how to play the emotional game. She isolates Kody further, turning his attention solely to her needs and desires. She whispers in his ear, playing the role of the victim, making him feel like he's the only one who can save her. She capitalizes on his insecurities, and, over time, he becomes entirely dependent on her approval. There are moments where you can see Robin almost completely take over his decision-making. She knows exactly what to say to Kody to make him second-guess his own instincts and judgments. And slowly but surely, he becomes more of a puppet than a man in charge of his own life. What's even more disturbing is how Robin uses the emotional manipulation as a tool for control. She often plays the victim, acting like she's misunderstood or that no one else supports her, while Kody falls deeper into her trap. He becomes her emotional caretaker, but in doing so, he loses himself. The more she controls him, the more isolated he becomes. He stops thinking for himself and starts thinking only about Robin and what she needs, abandoning the people who've stood by him for years. This is the classic play of emotional manipulation. It's not just about making someone feel guilty, it's about breaking down their self-worth, making them emotionally dependent on the manipulator. In toxic relationships, this dynamic is all too familiar. The manipulator thrives in control, creating an environment where their target feels unsafe and unsure, unable to see a way out. Kody's slow unraveling is a direct result of Robin's manipulation, and it's heartbreaking to watch him lose his sense of self, piece by piece. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Robin is the real villain here? Or is Kody just as responsible for the breakdown of the family? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm eager to know what you all think. Let's get the conversation started. The moment of truth comes when Janelle can no longer sit silently in the chaos. The emotional weight of everything she's endured, the manipulation, the isolation, the betrayal, finally pushes her to the breaking point. It's a confrontation that's been brewing for so long. Janelle finally stands up to both Kody and Robin. In this intense moment, she refuses to let them control her life any longer. She makes it clear she is no longer willing to be a pawn in their toxic game. What follows is a powerful reclaiming of her life. Janelle takes that painful but necessary step away from the broken dynamics of her family. For the first time in what feels like forever, she starts to find her own voice, her own strength. She chooses her mental and emotional health over the manipulation and control that had been weighing her down. This is the beginning of her liberation. Her realization that her happiness does not depend on Kody or Robin. Janelle's act of defiance is a message for all of us. You don't have to stay trapped in toxic environments. You can choose to walk away and reclaim your life, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. Her decision is a beacon of hope for those who feel controlled or manipulated. If you've ever felt like Janelle, trapped in a situation where someone is controlling your life, I want to hear from you. Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more content as we continue to follow the journey of these incredible women. Janelle's journey has been nothing short of emotional turmoil. We've watched her go from a woman who was constantly manipulated and isolated to one who found her strength and reclaim her autonomy. Her awakening was not easy, but it was necessary. From enduring emotional abuse at the hands of Kody to facing the harsh reality of Robin's control over him, Janelle's decision to step away was not just an act of defiance. It was a step toward reclaiming her own peace, her own happiness. It's a reminder to all of us that we don't have to stay trapped in toxic relationships, no matter how much we've invested or how deep the emotional connection might be. As for Kody, his fate hangs in the balance. Can he ever come back from the damage he's done to his family? Will he ever wake up to the reality that Robin's manipulation has cost him everything he once valued? His role as a husband, a father, and a leader in his family? Or has he gone too far, spiraling into an emotional abyss that he can't escape? Toxic relationships have a way of consuming everything they touch, breaking down the very foundation of family dynamics. What's left in their wake is not just pain and betrayal, but lost identities, shattered bonds, and emotional scars that take years to heal. I want to hear from you. What do you think of Janelle's journey? Do you think Kody can ever fix what he's broken? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more updates on the roller coaster of emotions that is Sister Wives.